AI in marketing, it's not just another tool in the toolbox. It's more like a whole new battlefield. And honestly, most teams are walking right onto it, totally unarmed. They're so captivated by what AI can do, they're completely missing the dangers hiding just beneath the surface. And look, this isn't some far off, in the future kind of thing. Right now, a whopping 73% of marketing teams are already using AI every single day. So yeah, AI adoption isn't coming, it's here. It's already happened. So why is everyone jumping on board so fast? Well, it's pretty simple. It works. The results are real. Teams that are using AI are seeing on average a 40% boost in productivity. I mean, in today's market, that's not just a little edge, that's a total game changer. But in this mad dash, this gold rush for efficiency, what are we forgetting? In our hurry to get ahead, what doors are we leaving wide open? And maybe the biggest question is, what's it going to cost us when someone inevitably walks through them? Because here's the thing you have to remember. For every single marketer out there celebrating a win, there's a cyber criminal seeing a brand new opportunity. That exact same AI that's helping you build your brand, it can be turned around and used to tear it all down. Let's dig into how that happens. Okay, so let's start with the most obvious target, your data. I mean, think about it. Every click, every single purchase, every little thing a customer likes, it's all a digital fingerprint. For you, that's the magic key to personalization. But for a hacker, that data is basically a treasure map pointing straight to a vault of gold. And the danger here is kind of like a three-headed monster. First, you've got the direct harm to your customers if their data gets out. Then there's the massive, crippling fines you can face for not following regulations like GDPR. And third, and this is a big one, your partners. Because in this new AI world, you're only as secure as your weakest link, and that could be one of your third-party vendors. But get this, it's not just about the data anymore. Now, the AI models themselves, those custom algorithms that are basically the secret sauce of your entire marketing strategy? Yeah, those are the new prime targets. And the attacks on these models are, well, they're pretty sophisticated. You've got model theft, which is exactly what you think it is, a competitor just straight up stealing your secret sauce. But then it gets sneakier. There's data poisoning, where bad actors slowly feed your AI bad data to corrupt it from the inside. And then there are adversarial attacks, which are even more clever. So, what's an adversarial attack? Okay, think of it like a secret, subliminal message that only your AI can see. An attacker makes these tiny, tiny changes to an image or an ad, changes you or I would never, ever notice. But it's just enough to completely fool the AI, making it do something disastrous, like, I don't know, showing a super expensive luxury car ad to a broke college student. Not great. So really, this is the choice that every marketing leader is facing right now. It's two paths. On one side, you've got proactive security. That leads to innovation people can trust and real sustainable growth. But the other path? That's just chaos. You're always putting out fires. Your brand's reputation is on the line with every single campaign. It's a stark choice. Okay, so how do we make sure we stay on that good path? The answer is to stop thinking of security as a chore you do after something goes wrong. We need to flip that script. It's time to stop just patching the holes and start building a real security shield from the ground up. The biggest mistake I see companies make is treating AI security like a game of whack-a-mole. A problem pops up, you hit it, another one, you hit that. You can't win that way. The only way to actually win is to build a fortress. And that's exactly what a security framework is. It's about replacing all that chaos with real control. And this fortress, this framework, it's really a four-step process. First, you assess. You got to know what you have before you can protect it, right? Second, you develop. This means creating clear, simple rules for how your team uses AI. Third, you implement. You put the tech in place that actually enforces those rules. And finally, you monitor. You have to keep an eye on things because the bad guys are always changing their tactics, so you have to be ready to change yours too. Okay, let's make this super concrete. A really powerful tactic is just simple access control. These are easy things that are incredibly effective. First, require multi-factor authentication for everything. Think of it as the deadbolt on your digital door. Next, use the principle of least privilege. Basically, don't give people the master key to the whole building when all they need is the key to one room. And finally, check who has access regularly. Old, forgotten permissions are just open doors waiting for an attacker. I know. Building a whole security framework sounds like a huge, overwhelming project. So let's forget the whole thing for a second and just break it down into a few simple first steps you can literally take today to start building up your defenses. All right, here are 4 things you can do this week to get started. Number 1, schedule a meeting with your IT team to talk about an AI security assessment. Just get it on the calendar. 2, go find those contracts with your AI tool vendors and actually read the security parts. 3, draft a simple 1-page document with some basic rules for using AI. And 4, just start talking about this with your team. Make them aware. It really is like that old saying, the journey of 1,000 miles starts with 1 step. Go take it. So let's wrap up with this quote. It really gets to the heart of it. Security is not a destination, but a journey. It's so true. This isn't about building a wall and then you're done. It's about creating a culture where everyone is vigilant. That's what lets you innovate, what lets you use these amazing tools with confidence, because you know you're protecting the one thing that truly matters, your customers' trust. So, at the end of the day, the question isn't, can we afford to invest in security? The real question is, can we afford not to?